What up, lids? It's WarbossTae back up in this mug doing another wrap-up video for my Zombicide Black Plague project. And this is the special guest Adrian Smith box set. So you got 4 miniatures here, and I want to take you through my process for painting each of them. And let's start with Jorvac. So Jorvac is an interesting one to paint because he is covered in like furs, metal, chainmail, different trinkets, dark clothing, and I was thinking, how can I make him pop? And from the, when you're playing him at the table, again, the easiest way to do that is to emphasize the skin tones on the face and the hands, because there's not much skin on this model. So you really have to draw attention to those points. I also decided to make the sword extra shiny by doing a second layer of Stormhost Silver on the highlights. That way the light catches really nicely on the top there, and you can see it, pick it out. It looks really nice. He's got a milky eye there I painted with Vallejo's Off-White, and his other eye I painted as normal. The thing with painting miniatures eyeballs, I've noticed, is it's safer and a little bit more of a guarantee to get the look you want if you do the black horizontal line first, and then do a horizontal line of white, and then a slash of black or dark brown right in the center of that. Then you clean up the cheeks, because I got a little bit of that black vertical slash, diagonal slash on his cheek. So I just went back over with the skin tone, covered it up. You can't even tell it was there, and there he is. I like that he's got a very grim set to his face, very fatalistic look in the sculpt, his frown, but also with the way his brow is, it also almost looks a little bit, I don't want to say like regretful, but it gives him an interesting look. He's not as, grim and dark as your standard miniatures figure. He almost looks like he's going to wade into battle, but there's, a million other things he would rather be doing. So I think that's great. I mean, this guy's seen it. He's been in the thick of it. He's got scars. He's lost his eye. His face is all mashed up. So I think this poor guy deserves a break. He's got some skulls on the back there. I decided to do all of the pelts in either a light cream or this kind of sandy brown. This is the second character, and his name is Gerback. And I think I showcased him before. With his skin tones, I actually went with the Malefic Flesh set, also from Vallejo, but there's a little bit more of a chance to do like a blue or a purple rather than kind of natural or intense kind of fairy looking skin. And I think that really worked with this guy, made him look a little bit more pale, and the contrast really works when you put it up against the dark brown of the leathers, the reds, and this kind of sandy brown pelt he's got. He's got a little bit of a stud on his right eye where his eye was. He also lost his eyeball, and he decided instead of just leaving it a milky eyeball, he's going to put a little metal stud in there. He looks like an orc or something. He's got that underbite with the fangs, and he's definitely not a human. He's so bulked out. But he was great fun to paint because of his muscles, the different kinds of textures on his skin, and painting him actually helped me with this next figure, which is, I think, my favorite of this set. And it actually, I tried to paint him up to look like the box art, and I think I achieved that. Very cool, beautiful art by Adrian Smith there. And there we go. So there's this guy, and his name is Shaquille. I also used the Malefic set with him, the Malefic paint set, Malefic flesh paint set, and again, dark colors for everything else to kind of contrast the skin tone. And I like how he's got a lot of gold. So he's got, you can see some gold little bits off of his tabard. He's got some gold coins hanging from his shoulder, hanging from his chest strap, and the hilt of some of his weapons are gold. I wanted to also pop out this axe he's got in his right hand, so I used a little bit of Stormhost Silver to edge highlight all of the little pieces there. Yeah, he was a lot of fun to paint. I really had fun with him. The final model here is Shaquille. Shaquille. And she looks like an assassin. I'm not really sure what her background is. I haven't done her video yet for my Patreon, but yeah, she was a lot of fun to paint as well. Hold on, see if I can get the camera where I want it to be. Not too high. All right, this is fine. So I'll just hold it here. And I wanted to really, really again do some interesting things because her miniature is very twisted in the pose. It's not like other miniatures that are broad and open. Like our buddy Gerback here is. You can kind of see everything and what he's all about because he's got a very open pose. Shaquille's got her left arm crossed in front of her body, and she's running forward, so her body's already at an angle. So I thought, well, how can I really make this model interesting? I thought, well, let's do some natural wood grain with the staff here. To replicate that, it's Steel Legion Drab with Zombicide Desert in thin lines across. I think that's a really good recipe if you want to do wood grain. Just very simple. One application of that Zombicide Desert is fine. If you want to do two, go nuts, knock yourself out. I also wanted to make her blade in her right arm extra shiny, so I did a Stormhost Silver highlight only on the top side, so it will catch the light really nicely. The back side is still done in lead belcher, and so it doesn't catch the light. It makes a really nice contrast for the reflection. And let's see, butt cheeks. The rest of her red was done with Corn Red, highlighted up with Mephiston Red, and then some Evil Sun Scarlet. Tricky thing with her was painting these eyeballs because the eyeballs were sculpted to look like they're really bulging. So she's kind of gonna have this crazy look to her anyway. If you're gonna get in there, the way that I would do it is don't even bother painting the mask, paint those eyeballs first. Do the skin around the eye sockets with whatever skin tone you're using. Again, I used Fairy Flesh Set. And then once the skin is done, then I did the black eyeshadow, the black eyeliner, then the white horizontal lines, and then finally 2 black slashes. And when you paint those black slashes in, because the face is not flat because of that mask she's got, you're definitely going to have a little bit of run over onto the cheeks. So you just clean that up with some skin tone color and then go into the mask, painting the mask. I really had fun with her. She was just a little bit of a different miniature to paint because she's, you know, not as open with her pose as the other 4. All right, so there you have it. Let me see if I can prop this bad boy back up there. We'll line up our models for a final goodbye, and then we'll wrap up this video. Adrian Smith box set from the Zombicide Black Plague game special guest box. You get these special characters to play with in your Zombicide Black Plague game, and I had a lot of fun. This project was really fun, and I'm glad I got to paint something different. Single pose miniatures are not usually my cup of tea. I like to build the models and feel that I have some kind of artistic license over their sculpt and their pose and their focus and direction, but I had a lot of fun with these guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed these videos. Check out my Patreon in the next week or so, where I'm going to be posting up videos on each of the characters and their backgrounds. Really interesting fluff if you're interested in getting into the game. And thanks again for watching. Latest, players!